Good to be with you all tonight. We'll discuss something that might be of interest, that might go deep in us and from us. So I'd like to begin with just a few minutes of just silently feeling your breath. Feeling your breath, especially in your lungs, going in and out. Feeling the breath instead of thinking. Okay. I mean, I don't know if maybe you start reading the book, or you haven't read it, or maybe you read it, and new book about love, but not about love, but specifically about what I call the path of love, the path of the heart. I guess we're all here because we are interested in something essential, something not surface, not even physical, something intangible, some truth that we feel we want, we need, we're called by. So you just need to relax, feeling your breathing, relaxing, and I'm just going to talk. I don't know what I'm going to say actually, but I'm going to talk and let it come, just like the book came. So there are many paths, many teaching traditions about inner freedom or inner illumination or inner knowing of ourself and reality. And path of the heart is a particular one that many traditions have. But it is something we cannot try to make happen. It happens. And might happen for some of us more than for others. It doesn't happen to everybody. In some sense, there are many teachings where you could practice, you could meditate, you could chant, you could do this and that. Path of the heart has nothing. I mean, people do things, but that doesn't do it. Path of the heart happens. Something touches you from inside. Something calls on you. You feel a calling, or you feel some kind of inner movement towards something that we don't know, They don't know consciously. That's the thing about the path of the heart. The heart is different from the mind. There's the paths that are mind is the most dominant, which I teach a lot, but part of the heart. Has its own principles, its own logic in some sense, its own kind of experiences. And we can talk about the path of the heart because we all know we have a heart. Right? Human beings have heart. But many people think of as heart as it's true, but it is the beginning of the heart. So the path of the heart requires that the heart need to deepen and mature and develop much more than ordinarily needed. Because many people think, many researchers think about, human being develop and the heart help them because it's the social kind of drive that human being have, which then requires at some point to be part of a community, you need some kind of empathy, some kind of feeling and for another. Term evolutionary theory, that will be the reason for the heart, why there is heart. Which is very different from how the mystical teachings view why we have heart. Yes, the heart makes it possible for us to feel, which helps us in terms of both in survival. You can feel pain or fear, and all that. All these are needed, are useful for survival, but also useful for being empathic, having some sense of what the other is like, where they're coming from. But spiritual teaching, for spirituality, that's not why we have a heart. For spiritual teaching, that we have a heart because there is something deep that wants to come through, wants to be known. And that deep thing is the source of everything. It is the maker of the heart, the source of the heart. The heart is a way for it to reveal itself in a particular way that is like to be known that way, because you know it in its majesty and its beauty. In this book, in each chapter, if you notice, I begin it with a poem. Because the path of the heart frequently is expressed through poetry. Poetry is more the language of the heart than just regular language, like words and sentences. Because the heart is, in some sense, not as sharp as the mind is, however, has a bigger gravitational pull. So if we are graced by this inner truth coming to us through the heart, we are graced by a possibility of knowing our true nature, our fundamental truth, our true existence, our spiritual nature, in a way that is both satisfying, fulfilling, and beautiful. And it's also a way that makes this truth feel, yes, I see myself in the mirror of your heart. But talking about the heart, or considering the way of the heart, we need to talk about the main thing about heart, which is love. The heart basically is the vortex through which love is the force that operates. Love and derivatives of love. Derivatives of love are, I'll talk a little bit about derivative of love. But there's love, one thing about the way of the heart, because it is the main element, force in it is that of love, is that it has a paradoxical nature, in the sense it is an easy way to get to see what is the essence of reality, what it fundamentally is, where does everything come from, but at the same time, it's paradoxical because it is the path of love. It also, because of that property of loving and liking, that can become part of the paradox, because then our heart can go astray easily. It's usual for the heart, in fact, for most people, that the heart doesn't know exactly what it wants. It believes it knows what it wants. Because there are things you love and you think you want them. Right? Love maketh the capacity to like, to love, to enjoy, to want to be close to come one. All of that. And then that is sort of a part of a human life. I mean, you can't have a human life without talk about love. right? Human culture and stories and poetry and so and art. Love is such a big part of it. But for the path of love, that all that is good. However, it's a distraction. The heart is going in the wrong direction. It's going to all these outward things and loving them and being dissipated by them, being captured by them. Oh, you fall in love with this person, you love nature, you love your car, you like your phone, you're like, oh no, your podcast, favorite podcast. I mean, all these things we love. I mean, you can't even count them. If you make a list, you never get to the end of it. So so part of the paradox is the heart is there, mystically speaking, for it to be the portal through which the fundamental secret of reality to appear. However, it is going in so many other portals and direction and distracted from its fundamental, central function, which is to go deeper into itself. So the book has many chapters about that. I talk to them about the stations or the obstacles to knowing what I call the inner beloved. Many people don't know about what inner beloved. My beloved is out there, live in this house, that house, maybe in a different state or different country. For people like the mystics, like Rumi and other beloved is not outside. Rumi had a wife, had kids, but he wasn't writing poetry about them. His poetry wasn't about that at all. I mean, you rarely know he's got a family if you read his poetry. So we can say that love is the most powerful force in the world, in the universe, and it is the most powerful mystical force. Which is the most powerful force to recognize, approach, and see and realize the fundamental truth that brings about both liberation and happiness and fulfillment in life. However, that force is dissipated into so many things. What is, from the mystical perspective, external things. Not that these are bad. They're only bad if they are distractions. If they make us not hear what is it really deep inside that? What is the heart feeling? What is one thing? Oh, I miss my friend. I miss my mother. I wish I'll have that kind of my Big Mac. I want a Big Mac. Maybe, no, you're feeling down and you think maybe pralay will do it. But you see, these are the things we all love and many people love, and there's normal, all human beings are similar that way. However, when you are graced is when your heart begins to feel these don't do it. That's when the grace really begins. When you have the feeling, all these things don't do it. There's something missing. how do you, all spiritual endeavors, they all start by feeling something missing, something I don't see, something I don't understand, something I don't experience. But that feeling, that sense doesn't come from the mind. It doesn't come because, information. And if you read from a book, you hear from a teacher, about spiritual teaching and light, that doesn't do it if something doesn't actually activate in you. So, the beginning of the grace is the sense of dissatisfaction, discontent. When you feel, not because, not discontent because the person I love doesn't love me. No, it's discontent because even the person I love who loves me, everybody loves, I have all, but I'm still discontented. Some of us don't get this self-discontent until we have everything, and finally we feel discontent, and then we move inside and we say, there must be something else besides all these things. Some of us are lucky that even we haven't gotten everything we wanted, we still feel some recognize it is a sort of existential discontent. So the discontent, the feeling of dissatisfaction with everything, with our life, regardless how good it is, when that happens, that is the beginning of grace, beginning of blessing. And the grace is even stronger when you start feeling a yearning for what is missing. To yearn for something deeper, it is a big change for a human being. Meaning you're beginning to have a feeling, the intuition that there is something deeper I don't see and feel and know that I can be close to, that I can know, that I can experience. That is a big insight, a big recognition. Some people's spiritual journey begins that way. Some people's spiritual journey starts another way, and at some point that gets activated. That's why I say, because there are many paths, one of them is the path of the heart. So we need to sort of reflect, meditate on how we feel in our life, how we feel about our experience of what we have, what we experience in life. Meaning personally, I don't know, because there's of course all this stuff happening in the world, or kind of thing disturbing and terrible, and good and bad, and all that. But for you individually, personally, when you know you want something that you don't know, but you know you want it. You know, and the way you want it is a kind of first a discontent, sense of absence, sense of emptiness, something of all the way to a sense of vacuity. And as I said, there are many stages in the path of the heart which the book goes through. And the first stage is recognition that there is something missing. There is a discontent, there is an unhappiness, and it's not going to, recognition is not going to be resolved. I'm not going to get it by being successful in one job or another, by having the love of my life, or being creative, or developing my own AI, or anything like that. When you know it's not that, it is something within you. It is something deep in reality. It is not something we perceive. That is a big knock at the door. And it goes deeper if we, the blessing is increasing when we begin to feel a yearning, a longing, a wanting for something that we know at a deep level we sense. I mean, that's the mystery of it, is that really the heart knows what it wants. However, it doesn't know it consciously. It doesn't know what it knows what it wants. It knows what it wants. It knows what is missing. However, there's no picture, no image, no word about what it is. Because it hasn't seen it, hasn't been completely close to it, hasn't met it. Sometimes called the inner guest, hasn't met the guest yet. That kind of bring in all kind of yearning, desire, wanting, passion, which are known as part of the heart, the sense of being forlorn, being, a sense of being forgotten, or a sense of being which are all common experiences people have in life, but this is not about anything in life. So the heart sort of knows what it wants, but knows it because in touch with it, but not consciously. It touches it in some kind of, it knows from a deep place because it is the depth of the heart. However, we are at the surface of the heart hasn't penetrated to its own depth. So the heart begins with being dissipated, being dismembered into many loves, many kind of, which is normal for a being. But it's for the path of love, the path of the heart is the heart collecting itself, not being drawn so completely by all these things, but finding some force, some gravity that moves it away from all these things and inward to a place it knows, at a deep place it need to go to, however, it doesn't know consciously what it is. And that is part of the sort of mystery and part of both the achiness of the path and part of the what's wonderful about the path. Like I know something missing, I know I want something, I know there's something there, and I don't know what it is. I want it, I love it, even though I don't know what it is. I know I love it, but I don't know what it is, and I want to know what it is. I want to be so close to it. I want to see it completely. I want to be as near to it as possible. So the longing and the yearning can first begin as a sadness or distance or all that, but at some point it can become a consuming passion. And need to become a consuming passion for the path of love to amount to anything, for the path of the heart to really engage its own warp drive. You know, many people these days, learn to find out, to have experience of some fundamental truth, something non-physical, you call it spiritual, something fundamental, something deep, something ultimate. However, very few of those know it in their heart. To know it in the heart is a whole other story. I've known it myself for years before I know it in the heart. I didn't know I was going to know it in the heart. I mean, something sort of came upon me. I don't know how it happened. At some point, I was just sad and feeling forlorn, as if I'm abandoned. I need something, and there's a yearning and longing and for something. And even though I've known it, but I haven't known it here. I've known it, felt it, became it, actually. But the way of the heart is a whole other thing. And in some sense, the way of the heart, when we learn about it, we learn about nearness and distance. What are called the stations of nearness and distance. The way the heart knows it's going in the right direction. It is coming closer to the inner beloved, what it loves. It has all these loves, but it knows it loves something more that will give it more fulfillment to the heart, but doesn't know exactly what it is consciously. And so, part of the stations of the heart is the knowing of nearness and death. You can feel sometimes you feel nearer to the what you're what the heart wants, what the heart seeks, what the heart longs for, what the heart misses. You're getting nearer. And when you feel nearer, you get happy, you get this happiness, there's joy, there's celebration. However, being near doesn't mean you found you know it yet, you've seen it yet. No, but you can feel the need, because the heart feels. The heart feels. It doesn't necessarily. It's not necessarily. It's more a feeling of, oh, I am near it, and it's an interesting thing. I mean, this feeling of nearness. Nearness is one of the wonderful states of the heart. It's not yet being one with the heart, but it's getting near. And many poets, many lovers of the inner beloved, many people on the path of the heart love just nearness. They don't want to even get all the way there. They just want to be near. But then, if you know nearness, you know distance. Sometimes you feel distant. You're farther away. And that brings sadness, brings, discontent, brings emptiness, meaninglessness. But these are the signs. They're not written in words. They come through vibration and feelings. And this process can go on for months, years, for some people, a lifetime. Many things, of course, happen. I'm not going to be able to talk about everything that happened. I'm just talking about some of the basic terrain, basic experiences that happen in the path of the heart. Well, it begins with recognizing a discontent, meaninglessness, then a sense of wanting, desire, longing, yearning. Then it becomes more the yearning, the wanting, the desire. We realize at some point is an expression of love. And that when you want to be near something, it's because you love it. Well, when you love something, you want to be near it, don't you? I don't need to prove that. When you love chocolate, you want it to be very close to it. Right? When you love somebody, well, you want them to be close. You want to be close to them. If they're in another state, you want to visit them. Why? Because you want to be near. What is this thing about wanting near? And of course, the wanting near is premonition of something even more complete. Because, as you know, if you like ice cream, you don't want to just be near it, sitting at the table. That's good on the way, but you want to, what's the next step, right? What's the next step? You want to take it in. You want to become no separation between you and it. That is of the nature of love. Anything you love, you want to be as close to it as possible. You know that feeling when you are in love with somebody. How close do you want to be to them? That's in the nature of love. We know it in life. However, it's the same thing can happen about the inner beloved, but magnified in power and force and intensity and depth. Because the heart is then unified, not dispersed about all these things. The heart is collecting itself and not, getting rid of all these things we love. It's not like forgetting. It's more like they're out of the way. I'm not preoccupied with them now. I want time, just like when you have time to meditate, you have time for the beloved. It's my time to be close to what I love most. To a kind of love that is not like any of those. I mean, when a human being so wakes up to this level of thing, that there is something else that is needed in my life, some kind of experience that without it, none of all the part of life won't do it, that's a big revolution in consciousness. Most people on earth don't have that revolution. Most people on earth are going around saying that they feel they love. And from the perspective of the path of love, they are astray. They are distracted. Not that they're wrong, but they're not seeing the primary thing for the heart, why they have a heart. We have a heart so that the heart knows its own nature. What is it inside? What makes it heart? What makes it love? But we begin at some point. We know yearning, we know nearness, and then we know love. We have to know what love is. Most people think they know love. They don't. They know the emotion of love. Love, the true love, is not an emotion. It's a force that when you feel it, it has intense sweetness. It's like the best dessert, but it's in your heart, not in your tongue or lips. Anyway, so yearning, longing, love, nearness, all of those go together. So, and the nearness has many stages. You can be near, and sometimes you can feel you're getting nearer. Then something happens, and you're thrown farther away from being on target. And we are usually thrown far away by things that happen in life. Something you love, something great happened in life. Some opportunity of a job, a new friendship, a new whatever, and new dessert, a new something. But that, which is fine. However, on the path of the heart, those things don't distract us. They happen, but they don't distract us from the more fundamental, central love, which is going inward deeper, for opening up to something mysterious that we love, even though we don't know exactly what we love, but we know there's something that, even calling it something is not accurate. So the path of the heart has many kinds of love. I'm talked about the yearning and the passion and the longing and the nearness and the distance and all the emotion that goes with it. But then there is our degrees of love. Love like wanting to be one, melting camp, sweetness of love, the dissolving quality of love, and then the passionate love that want to burst in ecstasy. All these happen in the path of love, but these are nothing like really meeting the beloved. But in some sense, the path of love is basically being completely detached from all the loves that we have in the world, whether it's inside us or outside us, even inner states and all of that, and being so that our heart is collected, is focused on the central thing, the thing that is at its depth, that makes it throb, that makes it yearn, that makes it love. And it is possible that the nearness becomes so near that we get glimpses of the inner beloved. And usually if you read the poetry, they get bedazzled, become drunk, become in a state of ecstasy, and they get the glimpses of the inner beloved. It's a kind of beauty, a kind of wonderfulness, not possible to see in this world. However, the heart knows when it is seeing the right thing. Only the heart knows it. The mind wouldn't know. The mind is informed by information, by previous knowledge. The heart senses, feels right there. And it knows it is it because it's always been there. And the heart getting nearer because there are less layers between it and the actual beloved. You see, part of what we learn in time, all this can be happening when we finally have the true nearness, the more of the sense of actual beholding the beloved. We learn many things. One of the things we learn is that all what has happened is because the beloved made it so. The beloved made us love everything, made us yearn, made us feel distance, made us feel nearness, made us feel happy, made us feel sad. It's all it's doing. So, not everybody who's in the path of the heart get to actually finally see the inner beloved. Many just feel nearness, closeness, and the ecstasy or the pleasure or the happiness, the joy of being near something we so fundamentally love. But to actually see it, actually behold it, to actually meet it, and not just to meet it. When we meet it, when we really see it, the feeling of yearning, the feeling of wanting, the feeling of longing becomes more a feeling of not yearning for the beloved, but yearning to be so one with the beloved because of how much you love the beloved, that only the beloved will be. You want to be so one with it that you're completely dissolved in it. And it is an experience of realization, an experience of spiritual illumination. That's all paths lead that, not just a path of love. when you become the truth. You not only meet the truth, know the truth, but you realize that is what you are. That is what your reality is, what your truth is, the truth of everything. That when we see the beloved, when you behold the beloved, when you meet the beloved, there's a bedazzlement. There is the mind is bedazzled, and the heart is intoxicated, and like we are taken over deliciously. And it is a big juncture here, because many of us are attached to being a lover who loves the beloved, who loves something, who loves the truth, who loves the inner secret, who loves the inner beloved. And that is the last yearning, is for that to go, for there to be, for the love to make only the beloved be. And when we are the beloved, we realize it's always been. Only the beloved is. Everything else is outer appearance. And that is true about spiritual realization in general. When you realize, when we recognize, awaken to the fundamental truth, and we are that truth, we see we are the truth. I am that. And realize not only that, but I am the nature of everything. So I'm talking about the path of the heart of recognizing I'm the nature of everything. All paths have their, mountains and valleys and oceans and rivers, but the path of the love, path of the heart has its own terrain. And one thing I myself happened to me, which I appreciate, being sort of fortunate, is that I've known the truth in many ways, but knowing it through the heart added something that wasn't possible. Made the world, I know the world has its trouble, but from the perspective of this fundamental truth, the world is the outer beauty of the beloved, its outer expression. And the inner beloved loves everybody. And everything. When we know our true relationship with the beloved, how the movement is at some point a complete absorption, complete disappears into it. We know why. If we love something, we want to be one with it. When you love somebody, we want to be as close to them as possible. Why does love do that? Why is it if you love something, somebody, you look at them, I love them, and then you just stay there? No, you want to be close. Why? People don't ask that question because love does that, you know. But why does love does that? Because love is really expressing it's the force, the dynamic force that expresses the nature of the beloved, which is the nature, which the beloved, which is the truth of everything, the fundamental truth of everything. And that the expression of the beloved, which is a vastness, a mysterious, majestic vastness, depth, and amazing kind of expansive depth and intimacy, and when we see the whole world as within us, as an expression of us, and it is not only the expression of the heart of the beloved. Not just that the divine manifested the world. No, it manifested out of love. Many teachings talk about that, but not all. So I think we can see if there are any questions, because I didn't say everything. Many things can be said. I gave some sense, some feel, some idea what is the path of love is, what the book is about. So if you have a question, I think you go over there to ask a question. Is that what happened? Or the microphone? Yeah. If you have a question, you go over there, ask a question. Let me turn on my device so I can hear you.
Hi everyone. I just wanted to ask what the role of dispassion is on the path of love, because of course it seems like it's related, because one needs to abandon, let's say, the other loves, but it seems like it's maybe more an expression of the movement of the mind towards the absolute. So I just wanted to ask if this sense of dispassion also arises in
dispassion.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Well, dispassion can be happening in one or two ways, as far as I know. Dispassion, first, you become dispassionate about everything in the world. That can allow the heart to move inward. And then the other dispassion, as the beloved itself, as the nature of reality, you're naturally dispassionate about everything. So there is dispassion of the individual, and there is dispassion of the truth. That there are expressions of the heart. That makes sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Good. I'm glad I can answer you. And there are people also online, they can ask questions. Okay.
Why are we here?
Good question. Why are we here? Well, we're not done. Why don't you go back? I want to talk to you. It's an important question, why we're here. How about you? What did you find out? Did you find out for yourself?
Well, I'm here because I learned about you from Erwan and Alicia Devan and from Satya Ayun. And so I was curious, and I have some of your books.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's the question, why are we here?
That's my answer as to why I'm here tonight, yeah.
And that's why you're here tonight. But why are you here?
I just am here.
I mean, why are you? Why is there such a thing as you who has experience?
I try to be in the direct experience of my life.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that is usually one of the fundamental mystical questions is why are we here? People have that question. That can begin the whole inner path. When you wonder, why am I here? I think what I said is the answer to the whole talk. For the beloved to know itself and experience and perception, and to see its manifestation in the world. So you are here as an organ for this deep truth to know itself. When you have fulfilled that function, you have fulfilled your purpose of your life, and you'll be free. And maybe coming here is just a small part toward that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I am free, I was able to come here tonight.
Yeah, that's good. Some kind of freedom, yeah. You're free to come, but that's true. Not many people could, yeah.
I happen to live half a mile from here, and it's been for the last 3 years, and think, why haven't I come?
Yeah, I'm glad you came. So you see, we had a nice conversation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We have one on Zoom. Juliet.
Zoom, yes.
Juliet, we'll ask you to unmute.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Hameed. Nice to
Hello, yeah. I don't hear you very well. You need to be.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's better.
Can you hear me okay? Great.
Yeah, you come closer to the mic, yeah.
Yeah. So you said that some people they won't experience that level of closeness, and I guess I have a concern. My fear is I can feel the yearning, I can feel the longing, but maybe I'll never really experience that. Like, how much of it is a grasping of wanting it, and how much is, how much can that real longing open my heart to that more and more.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, I mean, it could be either, but you see, it's not a problem that at the beginning there's a grasping, because many spiritual teachings say you should leave desire. You should go beyond desire, beyond grasping, because grasping has to do with desire. However, the path of the heart works differently. It's okay. Desire is okay. It's matter desire for what? is what matters. The object of desire is what matters. The desire is not a problem. Usually we desire all these things, but not the beloved. So they become a distraction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the longing in the heart for that, for more, like that connection to know itself fully, to know what I am.
Yeah, so when we're feeling the longing for the heart to be more in touch, usually we're beyond what is called grasping as a tension, as a holding on. But here you're not holding on to anything because you're longing for something you haven't gotten yet. So how can you grasp at it? You can only grasp something when you got. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a mystery, but the concern is I never feel any more than just that longing.
Yeah. Yeah, they become, grasping for things in the world usually, and you can feel grasping toward the animal, but if you do that, you disconnect from it, though. As you grasping, disconnect us from the fundamental truth. But that means there is somebody else. Somebody is grasping that is not the fundamental truth. But when you become one with the fundamental, you're the fundamental truth. The fundamental truth doesn't grasp, doesn't do anything. It just is. Yeah, so I appreciate your question. The point of grasping is part of the realm of the heart. Good.
I'm curious about something you said. When you know yourself as the beloved, given everything that's going on in the world, how you love, how you see, how you love everyone, how you love everything. Like maybe intellectually or conceptually, I can go with you there, but I'm just curious, like experientially, when you're that, how do you see everything that's going on as love?
Well, what's going on? There's a lot of trouble. I mean, a lot of chaos, trouble, and people getting killed and stuff, and people being mad and being scared, all of that. I mean, you see, when the beloved loves the world, it isn't loving that. It's loving the fact that the world exists. It is loving something more, the nature of these things. These things are it's a question you ask, and many people ask. And it's a fundamental question, I think, that all spiritual teaching need to address, because many of them don't address it squarely, and to one's satisfaction, which is, if you are realize you love everything, what does that mean? Do you love the killing? Do you love the hatred? Do you love the... No, I don't love those. But you see, the difference when we say the experience of loving everything is like, to use a metaphor to explain it, you see, is if you look at the human body, right? Take any human body. Human body has different levels of its existence. There's the organic level, organs and systems and all of that, right? And then you could look at it that way. Then you could look at the level of the body where it's made out of molecules, organized molecules into different organs. But the molecules are more fundamental than the organs and the systems, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense. And those molecules, you can go even subtler and see all the atoms making up those molecules, right? Now, when you look at the body from the level of the atoms are always perfect. Nothing happens to it. The body can get old, can get an accident, can get hurt, can get cancer, get ulcer, but these are the organs. Nothing happened to the atoms. Atoms, they continue being the atoms. So the realized person who says, I love the world, is looking at the atoms of the world and saying, they're all perfect. And there is love for all of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's really the truth. You know, when somebody says, I love everything, what do they see? I mean, you also say you love in the sense you just feel love. The love is always there. But the love that is always there, that is personal, it is not, even that love doesn't discriminate between loving the good or the bad and the ugly. However, the love that is universal, that is when you say, I love everything, everything is good, that we're looking at the atoms of the universe, not at the particulars. And because of that, everything looks beautiful and wonderful and perfect. I think that answered the question more than just to say, I love everything the way people see them.
Yeah.
You see, the thing about many of the awakened people is that they either don't level with people or they themselves haven't thought of this question enough to see the distinction. Because they're enamored, they're sort of intoxicated by the fact that I'm full of love, I love everything, but they're not seeing what they mean by love. When you ask them, do you love this person who killed this other person? They will wonder. They say yes, they love them, but it's not, they don't love the killing.
That helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it helps, because we really need to understand things. Because the more of us can see things more fundamentally that way, that there is love and goodness at the depth, there's perfection at the depth, the more difficult for us to do something harmful. Because we see that nature of everything is good, is perfect. So how can you how can you discriminate? How can you oppress? When you see the perfection in everything. But there are not many people in the human race who are like that. So that's why the human race is still in trouble. And it seems it has been in trouble for a long time. It looks like it's going to continue being in trouble for a long time to come. And that level of things.
Your metaphor just, it helps. I don't know a better word than helps. Just.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help to alleviate the pain for the suffering. I feel pain. I feel compassion when I see that. I don't feel I love it. I feel kindness to the people who suffer, and I feel sort of I feel sorry for the kindness even for the people who are murderers, because they're also suffering. They're also in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you asked that question. That's an important one.
We have a few more on Zoom.
Okay,
Francisca, we're asking you to unmute.
Francisca. Okay. We don't hear you yet.
You don't hear me?
Oh, now we hear you. Yes, good.
Hello, I'm in India.
Aha, okay.
It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Very nice to meet you here. Yes,
Yeah.
and to hear. I'm started reading your book already, and I was also in your winter retreat, and I had a question around because we were talking about entropy, and you were saying like as the body gets older and sick and is going to die, and how important it is that we are surrounded by people that love us or people that can share with us, and that we have a community, and think about how to spend your last time in life, and so. And I'm kind of, wouldn't say struggling.
Something
with
happening to the sound.
my love, but my internet is sometimes a little bit unstable. Am I back now? Can you hear me?
Something happened. Yeah,
Can you-
maybe it's getting better now. Okay, say it again.
So my beloved has always been my primary, but I always also wanted to be in relationship.
Yes.
And so wondering about this conflict between, I can understand when you have a relationship and you are grasping and you're attached to that person and you kind of forget about the beloved and you're stuck with that, the problems and the object relations that happens in that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't want to give it all up to have. I do need other people. I do need people to love and to love me. And
Yeah, of course.
Can you say something about that?
Well, you have to remember there's the path, and then there is the actualization of the path. There's the path of love, which means our primary love need to be the inner truth. Until that inner truth becomes a reality for us. And from that place, when we see the inner beloved and we have some experience, some sense of it, we see that the people we love them because we see the inner beloved in them.
Yeah.
And that's where the conflict disappears. Because when you love them, you are loving the inner beloved at the same time.
Yeah, that is how.
And that's what many of the mystics say. Wherever I go, everybody I see the beloved.
Yeah.
But that is another step of integration of the inner condition of the inner truth, the fundamental truth, the deep truth of the heart. Is that for us to see it in all that we love. That actually helps us see what is it we really truly love, and what is it just fill in another gap, not love.
Yes, I can feel that in the heart when you say that.
Yeah.
It is. It's the heart in me that I need to feel the beloved in my own heart, and then that comes after somehow. The outer.
Yeah, I mean, the reason we loved all these things before is that we're capable of love, and we're capable of love because of the beloved. If there was no inner beloved, there's no love, and there won't be external love. So external love are basically nothing but fragmentation of the inner beloved. We're seeing the fragment and not know there are fragments.
Ah, that's a nice way of saying it, yes.
Yeah.
And so true nature and the beloved is the same, right?
Oh, yes. I mean, beloved is one way of talking about true nature. Through the heart, true nature, we call it the beloved.
And beingness is the expression of.
Beingness is one way of experiencing that too, yeah.
Okay. Thank you
How
so
was it
much.
in India? How is it? How is it?
Yeah, I'm in a Zen monastery in the mountains, so it's cool. And it's very, very pleasant.
A
And
Zen monastery. Where in India?
it's the South India in Tamil Nadu, in the
I
mountains.
see.
The hill
It's that
station.
monastery there. Interesting, yeah.
It's a small monastery, and lots of foreigners and Indians and mixed people and generations. So it's very pleasant,
Yeah.
and it has a Christian touch to it as well.
Interesting. Christian touch to it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the teacher here is a Benedictine priest, and at the same time he's a Zen master.
Benedictine, interesting. Yeah, an interesting combination.
Yes, very nice. He's talking about Amen. Just sit with the Amen, and that is just a sit with the Amen. It's like a surrender of Amen, and I really like that.
So the suchness of thing and Jesus Christ are not two separate things.
Exactly. Yeah, we have a crucifix and a Buddha on the altar together.
Thanks for telling us that. That's nice.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good me talking with you.
Do you want to take another one, Hameed, on Zoom?
Yeah, one more and then we'll go finish. Yeah.
Okay, V, we're asking you to unmute.
I feel so honored to have this moment with you, with this one last moment. And before I ask my question, I just want to just exude a lot of gratitude to you for what you do and how you channel in your work. I'm new to this approach. I've been a seeker for my whole life, but Diamond approach is new, maybe 2 years. And
2 years only, okay. 2 years, well, hopefully it matures in you.
That's the hope. That's the hope. And I've been sitting here wondering what I would ask.
Yeah, I think it's very possible.
Oh, thank you.
That matures and bears fruit in you.
Oh, I thank you for that.
And the best fruits are the fruit that come through the heart, or are like nectars and lakes of sweetness and rivers of amazing, wonderful drinks.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what happens through the heart, you see. Yeah. In the mind, you get clarity and spaciousness and all of that. It's wonderful. But the heart has all the fullness, the richness, and the sweetness, and the yumminess, and the yumminess of the truth. But it becomes also translated into the yumminess of life.
Yes, I love that. I love that, and I have my question that I've been wondering what to say to you. In this moment is. So in these many ways that we come to the oneness or to the essence, some of that can involve devotion or prayer.
Yes.
And I wonder for you, when you talk about kind of the last stage, you were saying at the end, for some of us who love the longing, where that's kind of where we are until there's a point where we almost have to let that go, right? In order
you don't want the longing to go. You want the longing to get deeper, stronger.
Okay.
Yeah, feed it with fire. Let the longing burn more, because the longing are the outer expression of the love for the truth.
I see. And in that, would you say that longing could even be a form of prayer then?
Sure, I could say that. Yes. Longing for the beloved is the best prayer it can be, actually. Longing and yearning for the beloved is the same thing as loving the beloved. They're the other side of love.
Well, I suppose that answers my question, because I want...
Yeah. Well, good to meet you and good luck
Thank you so much. What an honor to get this moment with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.